What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today we're going to be covering the side quest A Call from the Depths and how to complete it in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. First of all, I want to let you know that this is definitely worth it and that the reward is definitely worth it, and you want to do this as opposed to like a lot of the other side quests that give you like some rupees or something. No, this one you definitely 100% want to do. I have to say that this is probably one of my favorite quests in the entire game, but just a heads up, this is going to be lengthy. This may take you 1, 2, or 3 hours to completely complete. You don't have to do it all in one sitting, but it is going to be a little time consuming. The first thing I'm going to recommend is you have some access to the South Hyrule Sky Archipelago. Getting this island, this Sky Island, is going to make your life a lot easier, so 10 out of 10 recommend. And then also, if you have the additional 3 shrines on the surface, this one is the least important, then this is going to be a lot easier. And to start off this quest, there's actually 2 different ways to start it. One is at the Temple of Time Ruins, and one is at the depths at the Great Abandoned Central Mine. I'm going to be making my way to the Temple of Time because I think it's a more epic start. The Great Plateau looks so different from above. It really does. Looks so small in comparison to when we first started in Breath of the Wild. Perfect. Here at the Great Plateau, we're going to make our way inside of the Temple of Time. You don't have to have anything done story-wise for this. Of course, I have Tulin because he's the best companion. And we're going to be going and checking out the goddess statue over here. When speaking of the statue, it's just ellipses, and then I am trapped under the water behind the stone gate of the Great Plateau. By the way, you may want to put a travel medallion down here for later traveling back. My first time doing this, I had no idea what she meant. I searched everywhere. I searched around the frozen waterfall on the Great Plateau. I searched the rivers. I searched the ponds. I searched everywhere I could possibly think of. But where we need to make our way over to has to do with this pond or reservoir right here. But here's the thing. We're actually going to be heading off of the Great Plateau onto the ground in front of the Forest of Time at this intersection. Also, if your travel medallions aren't really doing anything right now, I would definitely recommend placing one in this general vicinity right next to this crater on the Great Plateau, right before you hop off to go look to that area that I just told you about. Mostly because even if you have that shrine underground unlocked, finding the exact point to arise through, that way you don't get stuck in the mud, pretty annoying. As you make your way to the front, you're going to notice that there's a lot of rocks that have some water sticking out of them. Well, if you go ahead and destroy these rocks, that's going to then cause this entire reservoir / lake to now drain out. Which I'm now starting to think that this was how you were intended to ascend to the Great Plateau back when it was, you know, a regular structure before all the chaos ensued. Hey, look, fish. And over here, we're going to be finding a bargainer statue. You who hear my voice, come to me in the Temple of Ruins, up the road on the plateau to the south. Okay, now we need to make our way back to the Great Plateau's Temple of Time Ruins. Once we make our way back to the Temple of Time, we're going to go ahead and speak with the statue once again. You who hear my voice, as a result of you draining the water from the gate, a part of me has been freed. You have earned my gratitude. I speak to you now from the depths below in the guise of this statue, a call from the depths. I direct you to the 4 chasms across this plateau. Each of one has my eyes nearby. Drop them into the chasms. Then deliver the stones to me, who dwells in the depths below this temple. Do all of this, and a reward will be yours. You don't really need the travel medallion. You can choose to collect it now. I'm going to be doing the 4 chasms in the order that is written on screen right now. Thank you, Future Austin, for taking care of that for me. And to start, we're going to be doing the Great Plateau's North Chasm. If you dropped a travel medallion down, great time to go to it. One of my favorite parts about this quest is it's essentially a giant callback to the Great Plateau, but then remixed in Tears of the Kingdom. Inside of this pond, where there was a metal chest, in Breath of the Wild, there's now going to be one of these large eyes. You're now tasked with taking this large eye and bringing it over to the chasm and just yeet it in and go chasing after it. It doesn't matter how fast you go because it just kind of teleports down here. And if you've already activated the light route, it's going to be much easier to see. Collect our Poes, we're going to need those for later. And this eye dropped down not too far away from our final destination, but it's far enough that we may not want to carry it. So because of that, here's a big ol' area with a whole bunch of building supplies. For this, you have two options, either making a hover cart or what I'm going to be doing, which is making an ATV. I'm going to be grabbing this 4x8, grabbing the large ATV wheels, putting them not on the edges, but just a little bit further back, making sure that all four wheels face the same direction. With all four wheels attached, let's go ahead and put on a controller. And if you didn't do the light route already, which I definitely recommend doing, go ahead and attach a light to the front. I already did that, so I don't need one. Grab the eye and make sure you attach the eye to your board as well. And let's start navigating. First, a little heads up on where we're going. We're going to be heading from here south to the Great Abandoned Central Mine. So from this sort of driveway going out, it's going to be straight. And then once we reach these pillars over here and these mini stone talus pebbles, we're going to be going through and just sort of following that path that's on the ground for us. This is the reason I recommended an ATV over a hovercraft. Let's go on and head down this hill. You're going to see this path continuing forward. It's getting a little dark because I didn't do this light route, so I'm going to shoot a bright bloom ahead of us. Just go ahead, continue straight on the path. Once we reach this tree and this statue, we're going to make a left. Then we're going to see a staircase. Just go ahead, drive on up the staircase. From here is a pretty good time to go ahead, detach that eye. You could also use this opportunity to save this ATV as one of your auto builds. And now all we have to do is walk this eye up 2 floors, down this large staircase to this very large bargainer statue in front of us. And you'll notice that he has 4 slots on his face. Unlike the small statue that we saw, he is missing his 4 eyes. Just go ahead and plop it into any of them. And he's going to say, "You've returned one of my eyes," just in case you weren't that good at counting. I'm now going to take a moment and make sure I activate the light route that's just south of me. That way I have a little bit better of illumination, not only for myself, but for the video. And it's located directly south of where we were. Oh yeah, much easier to see now. From here, I'm going to be going to the Eastern Abbey for the second part of this quest. I'm just going to glide down. This is where you got the bomb rune in Breath of the Wild. So because of that, I'm fairly certain what we got to do is destroy this rock wall. Yep, and inside of it is the eye. Great. Go ahead and yeet it in to the Great Plateau East Chasm. What just happened? Why was I swimming? I have no explanation for what just happened. Whenever I'm entering an area and I'm not really too sure what's going on, I like to shoot out 4 bright bloom seeds to help illuminate the area. And here's our eye. Really, guys? In the middle of a thing. From here, we're going to be grabbing this eye and heading over to this large area full of construction parts. And if we look on the map, our final destination lies just at the end of these rails. So it would make a lot of sense for us to just go ahead and grab 1 fan, put it on the back of a minecart, grab the eye, secure it inside of the minecart, put the minecart on some rails, and let's let her rip. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to keep all legs and arms inside the vehicle at all times until the vehicle comes to a complete halt. Whee! Lift up on your harness and feel free to exit the vehicle to your right. From here, we're going to take our eye and we're not going to go up the stairs, but we're going to walk forward, go down the stairs, and give it to our boy over here. Rotate the eye upright and pop it in for him. We have returned 2 of his eyes. For the third one, we're going to be making our way to the bottom right, which was, I believe, the Stasis Shrine. So I'm going to be making my way from this shrine up here using Ascend. I also plopped down a travel medallion just to make it so that I don't have to do the exact same thing twice. This was the Stasis Shrine, and if you recall, there was a rock right here that you were able, or a platform or something that you were able to stasis, and then underneath was a chest. I think it just had a bow or something, but bottom line is, here's an eye, and let's yeet ourselves. Hopefully not into water this time. And thanks to us lighting up that light route, we can actually see where we're landing. Let's go ahead and take this eye, walk it up the staircase that was right where we landed. And over here we have ourselves a flying device. Also some rockets, so if you want to stock up on rocket shields, now's a great time to do so. I'm going to use auto build to build one of my favorite builds, which is this, which is a fan plane with a controller, 2 rockets for easy takeoff, and then a battery at the back, battery whenever it's available. Go ahead, place the eye at the front so that it looks cool. It's very important so that it goes fast. This build is, by the way, 3 fans, 2 rockets, one on either side at a 45-degree angle. And then I have 2 versions, one that has an extra battery lying around and one that doesn't, just because my battery meter hasn't been extended at all. And as soon as we start taking off, that's going to be our destination right over there. So let's go ahead, take flight. Oh, I lied. It's actually going to be the platform right below where I focused before. Right down here. Can we make it inside? Oh, wow, we can. Okay. Oh, and my battery ran out. Okay, nope, not good. Abandoned ship. Can we recall up? Sure can. Thank you. That's perfectly fine. Go ahead, grab the eye, and let's bring it over to our happy man. There you go, Mr. Guy. I've returned 3 of his eyes so far. That's how counting works. I'm gonna head back to my travel medallion, head up Mount Hylia over to the Great Plateau West Chasm. By the way, if you haven't made yourself a sled shield yet, 10 out of 10 recommend. If you haven't made yourself a ruby shield yet, 10 out of 10 recommend. I used to use a ruby weapon, but then I realized I don't actually want to be attacking with it, but to just have the shield on my back, so much more convenient. It's just instantly warm. Okay, it's neither of these ice cubes. Oh, it's this ice cube. Okay, I knew it was one of these ice cubes. This one has the eye in it. From here, let's take this bad boy and yeet him in. Once we land, let's go ahead, take this eye and put it on this elevator. Activate the elevator. Upon reaching the top, we're going to be walking up the stairs over here. And so nice of them, there's already a minecart pre-assembled for us. Well, that's great. Hop on inside and take our first spin. Whee! Why couldn't the wheels spin? Oh, we found the Hylia Canyon mine. By the way, if you found an old map that has an X on it, just saying. From here, we're going to take the entire minecart and eye, and we're going to walk it up these stairs. I remember enemies here. Are there always enemies here? Nice time to stock up on rocket shields. And let's go ahead and take it the rest of the way. Once we're all done here, we're just going to go ahead, place it on the elevator, activate the elevator. Go ahead, take the elevator all the way to the top. And let's just go ahead and plop in the 4th eye. You who have returned my eyes, the vessels of my spirit, we can now speak properly. In ancient times, my eyes were stolen and sealed away. For eons, I have awaited one who would hear my voice and return them to me, and here you are. As promised, I will repay your kindness by bestowing good fortune upon you. At this point, you get to choose if you would like an entire heart container or an entire stamina vessel. This is the equivalent of completing 4 shrines, so there you go. I'm already full of stamina, so I guess a heart container. Your wish is granted. And that is a call from the depths complete. So now anytime that you speak to the statue inside of the Temple of Time, it's going to act like a regular goddess statue who's going to be able to convert your lights of blessing into either hearts or stamina. In addition, this counts as one of the 7 bargainer statues all throughout Hyrule and the depths. So if you're going to be doing that, which I'm going to be having a video coming out later today of all the locations, this is one of the 7. Congratulations, this is the hardest one by far. Not the hardest, but the most time consuming. Well, fantastic. Guys, if you found this information helpful, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, turning on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.